What's good, Real You?
What's going on, everyone? It's the Real You podcast.
Yes,
got my boys with me. We got some special guests.
We have some illustrious guests today.
Nice.
Illustrious.
Sometimes
Let's let them introduce themselves.
I feel like sometimes the male perspective isn't enough. So we had to bring the two ladies from the Taboo podcast here today. Part two.
Taboo podcast.
Yes. Well, anyway, my name is Liana, and I am one half of the Taboo podcast. You guys can find me on Instagram at Liana Dom and on Twitter at the same thing.
I am Kristen, and you can find us at Taboo Podcast. We just finished our first season. So if y'all want to tune in,
Thank you.
we're really proud of that. And my name's Kristen, like I said. You can follow me on Instagram at Chris Nicole B, 2 S's.
Christian with a K or a C?
K.
Okay, we got to make sure to go.
Yeah.
Make sure you get it
No,
right.
that's the right way. K is the right way.
So tell us a little bit about your podcast and what you all do.
Yeah, so Taboo started because I'm Haitian, so I grew up in like a...
Now you
know.
Yeah, I know.
So Taboo started off because when I was growing up, I couldn't talk to my mom at all about like anything. I had questions about like just my body, boys, anything. So when I grew up, I turned to like Kristen a lot and my friends and my cousins, and I was like, you know what? I'm tired of having to like Google everything. I'm tired of having to like, I'm literally typing to Google like, why don't boys like me? Like, how can I get a boy? It was mad stupid. So I'm like, you know what? Like, I want to create a space where women, especially Black women, feel just free enough to come and listen to their own trials and tribulations and relate and just build like a sisterhood where it's like, stop being ashamed of what you go through because we all go through it.
Yeah. And then she asked me to be a part of it. This was her idea. And Taboo stands for talking about being ourselves openly. Which is, come on, get into it.
Give us snap to that.
Yeah, but it's very important.
I'm here using Webster Dictionary like Taboo.
You are stupid.
Nah, Taboo, that's how she came up with it. I think it's a great name. It encompasses exactly what we talk about.
Right.
We're super authentic on our podcast.
Super vulnerable.
Yeah, super vulnerable, super transparent, which is different from being honest because you're just sharing exactly who you are, no filter. And I'm really proud to be a part of it.
Yeah,
be
absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Shout out to y'all.
So can we expect that from you all tonight?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Everything
All right.
wrong, no edit.
Yep.
Talking about yourselves openly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Openly. Okay.
Cool.
So
like
if you did tune into our last episode, we talked a lot about sex and misogyny, and we talked about from 6 men's perspective, but I thought we invite you all because you seem to have a good show going on. I tuned in and I've listened and heard about Kristen talking about how she made her parents know what's up.
Oh, you listen.
I mean, we gotta do a few research too now,
Wait. That last episode about narcissism really it spoke light.
Really?
So I really do appreciate
We
the
tuned
entire
in.
podcast.
We
We gotta
tuned
do
in.
our
Absolutely.
research too, know what I mean?
That's
Like,
crazy.
We can't just be out here not
I like
knowing
that.
what's
I
going
appreciate you
on.
guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
So talk to us. You said you were on Google trying to figure things out. So when it comes to things like sex or in general, how did you Google that or how did you come into that?
So even in the like Carrie said, in the narcissism episode,
Let me pause you real quick.
yeah.
Carrie.
I knew he was
Oh,
gonna
we
do
not
that.
we
I
not
knew he was
I
gonna
know when
do
I
that.
walked in though, and
No, his name is not Jakiri. It's Hakiri.
Oh, it is? Hakiri? Damn.
It's all right, gang.
It's all good.
Hakiri?
Okay.
I mean, that's my
All right,
African brother.
but
I
she-
mean, he got the first
Okay,
letter
gotcha,
song.
We're gonna take it
gotcha.
again. We're gonna take it again.
Go ahead. You got it.
So like Akiri said, in the narcissism,
Nah, I'm joking. Go ahead.
like Akiri said in the narcissism episode, I just talked about like things I would do to try to like better myself in the sexual aspect of my relationship. So I would like Google like the best positions that I needed to do and stuff like that. And it's like, obviously I don't want to talk to my mom about that stuff, but like also I don't feel comfortable enough talking to my friends. Cause you know, when you talk to your friends about like things you want to do in the bedroom or things you like kind of like worried about or like want to try to do, and they're like, oh, you haven't done that already? Or they're like trying to like, they try to shame you and it's like,
Judgmental
oh,
in a sense.
excuse my French, but
I
you don't
does
be putting
not
the...
mean they. There's
it's
no
not her.
I
It's not her.
they.
She
It
never
is
judged
not
me.
me.
But like, it's like those moments where like you want to just try something new, or you're like doing something that you're kind of late to the game, and everyone kind of looks down on you. So it was stuff like that where I just wanted to like get better in the bedroom, and then also just like how to read men emotionally, because y'all don't make no sense to me.
They don't understand themselves, let alone
So you can't
trying to
tell me
understand
about
them.
yourself if you don't understand yourself. So I feel like that was a
Sorry,
bigger part of
guys.
it.
What do you mean by
What
that?
do you mean by that?
Okay. So I feel like men don't do the work to look in the mirror and look at themselves.
Right.
They
So they
so
don't
busy
take-
looking at other women and looking at other niggas and what other niggas got, what they don't got, that they don't have enough time to look at themselves and be like, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
I'm actually a contributing factor to what's going on in my life.
Why do you think they hate astrology so much?
Oh, wait.
That's different. I'm not talking about that.
No,
I'm not talking about that.
She just
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on.
She brought up the stars and the spangles and the universe.
That's what I'm saying. I want to hear.
Wait, hold on.
I work in education, so I raise my hand.
Right.
You feel me?
like
Silent
that.
raise.
Yo, Laval, go
Silent
ahead.
raise. So hold on. I've been on the other side of the spectrum, right? Where I'm the kind of individual that likes to work on myself a lot. And I've encountered a lot of women who, instead of working on themselves, they like to have this like a scapegoat time, right?
Okay.
Where they've been in situationships where they're dealing with other people instead of focusing on themselves.
Right.
Now, my counter argument to what you guys said was, how can it be that a man is so busy with like entertaining other women, et cetera, and not working on himself when, what about the other side of the spectrum? Like from what I've experienced, where like women don't work on themselves. Women sit here and they use other people to fill this void and space, and instead of healing. Now I mean, we gonna tap into it, into those traumas. I mean, like not only traumas from like last relationships, but traumas just from like
from life.
yeah, from life in general. You feel me? Like, because a lot of those transcribe and a lot of the times can be very detrimental to a relationship.
Right.
So what about the other side of the spectrum?
I feel like the other side of the spectrum are the ones that get overlooked. So I'm valuing what you're saying. I think that population of men is still around. And for that, I commend you.
Right, go ahead.
I praise y'all. That's when I get on Twitter and say good morning, King, I'm talking to you. Right? I'm not talking to the men who hit up 50 women in their DMs and just see who
50.
answers. Because men are known to send hard eyes and say, you look beautiful, beautiful. When you going to respond? When you going to answer me? But have you ever looked in the mirror? Like, I've talked about this before. Are you one of those men who say that you're really interested in a woman and then she asks you a question about herself that will like show that you've done your research, and they're like, I don't know nothing about that, but you're watching my stories every day, and the only stories that you respond to are the ones where I'm half naked or my titties are out or my face is beat or you see I'm going somewhere. That's the only time that you're really tuned in. But every other time it's like, oh, I don't know about that. I don't know what you go to school for, because you never asked and you never paid attention. So those are the people I'm asking to look in the mirror, because people that don't care to ask about other people don't care to ask about themselves.
Okay.
I think.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think another part of that is like when you're looking in the mirror, like, are you looking to better yourself for someone else? Are you looking to better yourself for the women, or are you looking to better yourself for yourself?
Right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things that happen in the Black community, as Black women, we're forced to kind of look at ourselves and love yourself before you get into a relationship. Love yourself before you do anything, because you don't want anyone to ever hurt you, because then you kind of like, we take the blame as well. So I think, and it also goes into loving yourself looks differently for men and women. Like a lot of times loving yourself for men is like getting money, going to the gym. Loving yourself for women is like, I love my curves, I love my stretch marks, I love everything about me. And it's like, sometimes it gets a little bit shallow and it gets misconstrued when it goes to genders.
Can that now form itself into being narcissistic? So like, because you worked on yourself so much, right, and you're so focused on protecting yourself from anyone damaging you or hurting you, now do you develop that sense of when you enter a relationship, like you're only focused on yourself, and now it's just like there's this wall up where like you're not capable of loving someone the same way they love you, because you so much, like, you've been so conditioned to just like, I need to make sure I'm good.
I think that was definitely one of my issues, especially when it comes to dating, is that
Right.
I suck at looking at things from a team perspective. I literally look at it. I
don't like people like you.
It's okay, Ron. So one of my main issues is that I like to focus on how can I build myself of my own empire, and how can I bring this woman into it, instead of how can we
go together,
mold each other,
and
put each other in a better position, right? And I'm still working on it. I'm still learning that, 100%.
He sound like the girl that was on Justin LeBoy's video that was like, when he come up, come get me.
Right.
You sound like, when I come up, I'm gonna come get you.
Right.
But to answer your question, I feel like there's a fine line when a woman develops self-love. There's a fine line between narcissism and self-love. And the reason I say that is because I think this whole generation, not just women, develops so much pride that's disgusting. It's the pride that gets in the way of understanding self-love and narcissism. Like narcissism, of course, is a whole different entity. And like we talked about in our podcast, it's not something to be thrown around. So in a way, I don't even really want to answer that question because it's way deeper than that. But as far as being in a relationship and understanding that you're no better than the partner or you're no better than anyone else on this planet, that has to do with pride and leveling yourself off to be like, hold up, I did the work, but a year ago, I wasn't shit either.
Right.
Or you're doing the work and now you're better, but a year ago you weren't shit. It's not about who's better because we're all at different points in our life. And I think even for you or for anyone who's single, it's hard to understand that you have to bring people along for the journey and understand if they're worth bringing with you. So you just have to get rid of that pride, which I struggle with too. I'm not getting on here and saying that I don't have any pride. I feel like I do have a bit of pride because there are times where I say to myself, I got this. Right. I did this by myself. I have these values. If you don't have that, I can't talk to you. Right. Okay. And I want to know from a male's perspective though, like how do you date women who, I hate to say this, but are out of your league? Because I say out of your league because we were just talking about this last week where it's like, I look at my degree and I look at the shit that I get myself and I'm like, you can't even spell. Why?
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, but it's true. These are the men in my DMs. These are the men in my, they feel like they are eligible. And I'm like,
what you saying? They don't know the difference between principal and principal.
You're
everywhere. Like they're struggling.
Let me slow it down real quick. Kristen, I'm gonna take what you said. Leanna, is there something you want to add on to that or anything?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, great. So when it comes to that, right? In my history of dating women who we quote unquote strong and very like, well mannered and very proper and who are high income earners, they lack one thing, and that's emotional intelligence. Right, because they're so focused on literally getting money and building for themselves, they don't know how to let someone in. I get money too. I work just as hard. However, I'm very emotional intelligent. Everyone knows here.
But
I'm a
to
lover
clarify
boy.
though, I don't care about the money part. That's not really the part I'm talking about.
I agree. But sometimes like women, especially strong black women, it's kind of hard for them to let people in because they already feel the world's against them. So it's like, how can I trust this person to come in and add value? I might not be able to add value in other places, but when it comes to, that emotional intelligence, that comfort and taking care of you in a spiritual level, I'm here to add that. Because obviously you make money, you're working very hard, you have a very bright career ahead of you. There's nothing I can do for you in terms of financial, right? So on a mental and a spiritual and emotional level, I'm going to be here for you. Right. Now there are some niggas out here that are going to abuse that and use that. Right. I'll be completely honest. It's pretty hard for people to be found comfortable with people. Absolutely, 100%. I agree.
But it's not really just about money, bro. I think she's just talking about a well put together woman.
I'm just talking
that
about
just
a man
doesn't
with a
need
spell.
like if you
the bum niggas
like
be
if
DMing her.
a woman is doing good for herself, if it's bigger than money. If she's doing good for herself, if she got what she needs going on, she's like, what can a man bring to her that she can't do for herself?
Or is it the type of men that throw themselves at you?
It's a combination of both because it's not just me. I hear it from my friends all the time. It's like, I think what I also think about all the time is this social media presence. That what people are giving on social media is not what they actually are in real life.
What it's supposed to gauge.
It's not giving what it's supposed to gauge.
A lot of facades.
So it's super difficult. But I had a question for you. So you said that. So my question is, when women, tell me if I'm wrong, as black women, when we date black men, we automatically know that the world is against them. And we take that into consideration. So what we want to provide is TLC and his open ear. We know that when we shoot our shot or if we're answering a shot, that we automatically have to be emotionally in tune to be able to deal with their
trauma
package. Why can't black men do the same for us? Why is it that the barrier is black women are so strong that they don't want to let anybody in? Okay, what are you going to do about that though? So what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm very receptive to affection. I'm different than most men. So
here we go. He different.
He different.
Rob,
shit. Here we go again.
I'm gonna be the Kobe for today.
Y'all know I'm very receptive to affection.
Yeah, that's
so I'm a very affectionate man. Like I love affection. So one thing I will say first and foremost, dominant men don't like dominant women.
Right? I know that's right. That's why I got all these simps in my DM now.
Exactly. No, seriously. So you gotta. So dominant women have to settle for simps and men that really aren't. Niggas don't be on shit. I'm gonna keep up with you. So So when it comes to men being more receptive of feelings, they probably are so damaged, right? Where their main focus is, I gotta work harder. I'm sorry, my brother with the blue hat, I gotta throw you under the bus. My brother with the blue hat, whenever he's going through something, his focus is to cut out everybody's feelings and to work harder, right? I took that from him too. Like I can't. I sometimes I don't want to be coddled. Sometimes I gotta focus on myself. I gotta work harder. So it's like I don't mean to push you to the back burner, but I gotta work on myself right now. And for me to work on myself, then I have to come back and I'm able to coddle you in that same instance, right?
Okay.
Right. But like my brother that like working harder. Go ahead, brother. Working
No.
harder.
I was about to say, I think to like clear that up, for me, I don't like sympathy. You feel me? Because I don't provide anybody with sympathy. I'm empathetic. I'm a very empathetic individual. But when it comes to sympathy, like,
cheers to a nigga that knows the difference between sympathetic and empathetic.
like I don't want you, especially if we're in a relationship, I don't want you to sit there and like, if I'm going through something rough, to sit there and provide me with this like, well, like, I'm sorry this is happening to you. Like, I want you to be able to just understand what's going on and to now act. I think the biggest problem with people is that they don't ask, like, what do you want?
Right.
What helps you? And because like that's the kind of time I'll be on my show. Like I'll ask her like, yo, like what do you want from me, and what can I do to make this space for you the best in order for you to heal and just process. You feel me? The biggest part for me is processing and then just going through the motions for what it is, right? And for me, like, and what I've experienced is like somebody just always wants you to just be there. Now, like he said, like when I'm going through shit, like I'm very kind of closed off, but it's just because I don't like sympathy. Like you could be empathetic, you could be there, like just give me that space to get through my shit, because I'm gonna always come out the way I need to. So that's just to like clear.
I want to piggyback off of what you said about the dominant, like dominant people don't get together. I think that's not true at all. Because like as a dominant woman, I'm dominant in different aspects of my life. Absolutely. Like I wanted to touch on this later, but I'll touch on it now. What you call it? So basically, in the bedroom, like I want to be submissive, but
you want to be submissive.
I want to be submissive.
Absolutely.
Because in the rest of my life, I'm always in a leadership position. Like I'm.
That's all I love at.
I can't stand you.
Right.
But for real, like I can't. I want to get there and tell me what to do.
Yo,
tell me what you want.
I've literally heard that from a lot of women. Like
Yeah.
that.
Wait, but listen, but that comes with sex. Now let's talk about day-to-day living or day-to-day interactions.
Yeah.
Is that same dominant man, is he receptive of you being dominant as well? Or does he feel intimidated by you because you know you can call the shots outside of the bedroom as well on a day-to-day living standard?
Right. I think that goes into ego though. I feel like two dominant people, it sort of kind of like balances out. Because I've been with someone who's very dominant, who calls the shots and everything like that. So it's like, it's a little easier because sometimes I can just relax a bit and I don't have to be on my P's and Q's. Yeah, P's and Q's 24/7. But the moment that I do like want to be on my P's and Q's, he has to kind of like read it and know that like, all right, now I'm gonna step down. So it's really just a balance. But I don't think dominant people don't like each other. I think it's just once you find that balance, that harmony, it's easier for you to work.
I disagree with her.
I was waiting for that question.
I disagree with her, and I agree with you. But my question is, if dominant men and dominant women don't go well together, I feel like the part where I agree with you is that it's an ego thing.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, I hope y'all don't disagree with me, but I just feel like it's coming. I feel like it's really hard for men to appreciate women in their glory of power. And I'm generalizing, obviously. I don't believe this to be true for every single man. But what I do find is a man, for example, you just gave a great one. A man is happy if you're submissive in the bedroom. But outside of it, you're not going to tell him what to do. You're not going to press him. You're not going to ask him any questions. It's like, why? And the moment a woman begins to assert their power, it's I'm not dating my mother. I'm not your mother.
Is that power?
I'm not your mother. I'm not your mother. I just care about you. And who cares about you?
No,
Your mother.
There's a difference.
Wait, Kristen just read me the filth between the two. She just read me the filth. I'm actually offended right now.
There's a difference between the two.
Okay, I'm listening.
Like I feel like there's a clear-cut difference between the two.
I think it's because you are an outsider, though. I feel like the men I'm talking about, I feel like I've already established that you are.
How do you know that nigga's not like that?
I'm about to know, but
I just feel it.
I was about to say like,
She read him.
No. Hold on. Because if I keep it a stack, like, here's where I see the issue with two dominant people not getting together. Okay. Like you said, if you're a dominant woman, and once you get in the bedroom, you want to let go. The niggas probably on the same kind of time too. He's like, yo, like, damn, like I've been in this workforce or like this leadership position all day, nigga. Like I'm trying to just, you feel me, lay on my back and do the work. Right. So it could be a clash where it's just like, damn, like we both want the same thing. Now I'm frustrated because you're not doing that, and I'm frustrated because you're not doing that. That's where I could see it coming into tune in the bedroom.
I feel like it's rare.
I just feel like, I'm sorry to cut you off. I just feel like if you're with a simp, if you're with a dominant person, like you're with a simp, or just like not a simp.
I said simp earlier, I just meant weak man. I didn't even mean
not even weak though. I would just say someone who's less dominant than you. I don't want to have to pick up the slack 24/7. I don't want to have to be the one making decisions 24/7. So that's why I feel like I can't be with someone who's not on the same like dominance level, because it's like I want to be able to take a back seat and trust in you, know that everything's gonna be okay if I just take a back seat. But if you're weak, if you don't feel like you can make a decision without me, it's like, how am I supposed to do that?
I have a question.
That's a fact. I agree.
I have a question. And I just want to bring it back to like just sex in general. You talked about dominance in the bedroom, right? So if a man is not showing his dominance in the bedroom, that's not a man you want to be with?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
No, absolutely not.
And so tell me what's
it's not
wrong with
it's
that?
not that it's not one of the person I want to be with. Like obviously we'll work around it, but at some point I'm gonna bring the dominance out of you, dominance out of you, because it's like I can't keep doing it all the time. Like I'm not gonna keep pulling your drawers down for you, baby.
So we kind of talked about this in our last episode. We talked about how like sometimes shit happens and you're just looking at the girl like, who the fuck taught you this? Like,
mind your motherfucking business.
Like, be surprised. There's a lot of
you
Megs
like this?
when they talk, but not in the bedroom.
So no,
because I'm sure Meg is
Hold
submissive.
on, but we talking about
why you like it? We like,
you talking about the wilds? Okay,
like why you like this?
You talking about the Cardis? Okay, cool.
So like, and I think it, and then we talked about this about like we hear stories and then we're just horrified. Sometimes we feel horrified and it hits our chest like, damn, wow. So for you, do you have those, or you both, I can ask, do you have those feelings if something happens, you're like,
in the bedroom?
Yeah, and you're like, why you like this?
Nah, I'd be round of applause. I stop in the middle. Like, just congratulations, because it's like, I feel like that's beneficial to both of us if you know what you're doing. Like, I feel like guys get intimidated by that, which doesn't make any sense, because even the way you're saying, like, that's wild. Like,
that's ego.
No, I'm not saying it's wild, but sometimes I've had that in the past where I'm like, damn, what the fuck?
I mean,
but it's not even about it.
But why are you worried about that? Who taught me that?
That's why we here.
Nigga say you fuck my shit up.
My question is, this is something we touched about in our last episode. Do you prefer someone who's more experienced or someone who's just getting started?
I prefer somebody who's more experienced.
Why?
Because I don't have time for teaching you everything. I can teach you how to love me. I can teach you how to fuck me. But I can't teach you like the motion in the ocean. That is God-given and God sent.
Right.
I can't teach. There's certain things that I just cannot teach. Same way, a woman's physiology, whether she's able to you can't teach that. You just can't teach.
You got to learn. I can't teach you. You just have to have the foundation so we can build off of that.
And I don't have a problem with building off of that. I don't have a problem with giving somebody critique and being like, no, I like it this way. Okay. Or, men, please, when we say right there, it doesn't mean switch it up.
Stay right there.
When I say yes like that,
just say
I don't mean like everybody.
When Meg said in Crybaby, don't be like this, be like that.
Exactly.
Right. I get it.
But it's like even when you critique a man in the bedroom, they take it so personally. It's not personal, babe. I'm trying to teach you how to love me so I can love you better in the bedroom. Okay. When I say love, I don't mean like romantically. I just mean like
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, because it doesn't always have to be like this quick, I don't know, unkempt, like quickie experience. Sometimes we talk about this all the time, how things that are sometimes casual can still be intimate. And there's a beauty to that. And there's a getting off to that that's unmatched. So it's like when you want to ask a woman, oh, how did you learn how to do that? She learned how to do that because she was trying to please herself while pleasing somebody else. It wasn't about so much. That's what I was saying. It wasn't about what a man can teach her and who taught you that. It's more like, what did I teach myself so that we could both walk away pleasured?
I ain't think about it.
You ain't looking at it in that perspective, right, bro?
Because the things that I've learned how to do at first, like I remember when I was younger and I was learning about sex, I felt like, okay, like head was for a man. Then I started growing up and I was like, wait, it's not just for a man. I can get it. But if I give it really great to him, he's going to want to give it great to me. And when I started, but it wasn't just that. When you give a man good fellatio, the empowerment that comes over their face and their body is like they could take over the whole world. And I'm okay with that. If in those next 20 minutes that's what you need, I'm gonna do it because I'm gonna get something out of it too.
I mean,
I don't know.
That's more so it's more so like an enjoyment thing. Because I would
Yes.
say there's some niggas that just enjoy eating a girl's pussy.
And there's women that enjoy giving fellatio.
It's all,
Nah, you speak for yourself.
me on the same boat.
We got one honest Jamaican here.
What you say? So you got one line Jamaican?
Maybe a couple others, but we're not gonna speak on that.
So wait, so you're saying that y'all don't really judge men. So we talked about like double standards and things. So when you hear a man has a lot of sex with a lot of women, because you say you want to experience man, you're not looking at him no way?
Yeah. The thing is, I'm not looking at him anyway sexually. I'm looking at now, this goes into growth as well. You have no control of yourself. Like, you have no control. You're an animal. If you come to me and you tell me that you have like, yo, if we are 23, I'm 20 years
So
old.
what's too much? What's too much?
Hold on.
Wait, so now your question is...
Hold on.
Too much
Too much mileage. For me, it depends on the age. Like, okay, men start younger, so fine. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna give you guys a solid. If we had 23 and you told me you have 50 bodies, I'm gonna have to talk to your mother. 'Cause you have no self-control.
Wait, but what about...
Wait, let her finish.
I feel like the thing is, like, for me, I always practice periods of abstinence. Okay. So I feel like that helps me build my willpower. That helps me focus better. Like, that helps me do everything.
Yeah, cool.
So I feel like men need to do the same thing because
Ramadan coming. Let me stop. Go
not
ahead.
40 days for it. Nice. So I feel like when I'm able to see the same thing in you, where you're able to be determined, not let, a nut ruin the rest of your, like, just guide the rest of your life. I feel like that's when I have more respect for you. If you let anybody hit, like, that's kind of corny to me. Because if it's going
Not
the same
community
way,
dick.
really, like, you have community dick. Like, if you let everybody hit, like, respect yourself, babe.
I also don't agree with her. Wow.
So what about... Wait,
Hold on, wait, hold up, bro. Let the women.
I wanted
it's
to...
another question.
I want to hear Kristen's perspective, though.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Kristen, talk heavy.
I just don't agree with her because I understand what she's saying. And we talked about this 1,000 times. But I don't agree because there are instances and scenarios that happen where, number one, not to get too deep, but sometimes you don't have control over a body that you've received.
Right.
And so sometimes the agency is taken out of certain experiences, and I'm never going to lie. For me personally, I'm super transparent.
Right.
So whether it was an experience that I consented to or not, I think about it, I include it, it's part of my history. So when somebody says, oh, like, if my thing is, I don't do double standards that make us both look bad. So for me, saying like, oh, if a man has too many bodies or X amount of bodies, and I'm going to look at him like he has no self-control, it's not even about self-control sometimes. And sometimes I also feel like everybody doesn't look at sex the same way. And the way you may have looked at sex from 16 to 30 might not be the same way you look at sex from 30
we
onwards.
definitely spoke about
The
that.
way I started looking at sex when I first started having sex, I was young. And up until I was like 16, 17, I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. And I didn't understand what I wanted sex to be for myself. So it's like, I'm never going to negate that part of my life because it taught me things. Am I proud of it? No. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to include it. And so I don't want to be judged by telling somebody this is my body count if I'm straight up with you. It's not that I don't have self-control. It's the fact that it was a learning experience and it's a journey for me.
Okay, but...
And I know men don't always look at it that way.
And
I know
then on top of that, it's
but
just
I
like...
can't have them say, well, you have this amount of... It doesn't go... It goes both ways.
It goes both ways. It's not a tit for tat.
So how has your experience changed throughout the years? Like, was it once a fairy tale to now just like, I'm here for what I need and you here for what you need?
No.
And that's just what it is?
No, yeah. Sex was never a fairy tale for me.
Ever.
Growing up Haitian, it's like, that's not happening for you. Like, well, I think it was like in second grade, my parents, they didn't have the birds and the bees. They didn't sit down with me and say like, this is how a baby is. No, my mom said to me the moment I got my period, do not have sex. I don't even know what sex was. She's like, do not have sex. Do not bring a baby to my house. And if somebody tries to give you something, they're trying to have sex with you. I said, word. And I went to elementary school.
How old were you?
Like second grade, what are you, 8?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because you have, some girls get their periods young. Anyway, when you're able to
That's
have a
facts,
baby, you literally so annoying. When you're able to have a baby, like, your parents kind of like, they're trying to teach you as much as they can, but like
Without
if they
telling
weren't
you
well
so
versed themselves, they weren't brought up the same way, like they can't give you what they don't know.
Yeah.
So my parents didn't know much, they weren't taught much, especially my mother, because she came from a strict Haitian household. So she kind of brought it over. And then like as I'm growing up, like a lot of the time sex was so shameful. Like my mom would always say, I even said on the podcast, like my mom would always say to me, "You're having sex? Like, are you having sex?" Like, it'd always be like a, "Oh my God, you're having sex?" Like, am I? Like, I hope not. Like, that's how I felt. So I would never say that. So I would never say I'm having sex. To this day, I'll tell my mom, like, when I can be like 3 kids deep, and like I'll say I'm a virgin. Like, I'll never tell her that I'm married, kids, white picket fence. I'm a virgin. I am married. I don't know where these children came from. Like, that's how I feel. So like, growing up, a lot of it was a lot of shame around it. So then that's why I do the periods of abstinence where I'm trying to like figure out like what sex means to me, and I want it to mean more. That's why I look at a guy differently, because for me, sex means so much more. It means more than just like a nut. It's like okay, sometimes it's passion, sometimes it's, intimacy, and then sometimes also like making love and all that stuff. Like sometimes you just want to fuck. Like there's so many different meanings, but it's like if you understand the meanings, I think that's when sex looks different to you.
Absolutely. So to the crowd in general, how do you guys feel about that statement that women use sex for love and then men use love for sex? That's for everybody, honestly.
Women use.
I agree with like the stereotype of that, but I don't agree with the real life practice of it at all. Does anyone else have an opinion?
What's
on
the real
that?
life practice? I don't know what you mean by
I don't agree with
that.
any of it.
I don't agree with living like that, but I think it's definitely a thing. Like I think that's the stereotype is
Use love
what's
for
here.
sex? What do you mean by that?
So,
What's that? That's like what? That's like what? Selling dreams?
Wait. That's selling dreams, essentially. So women use sex for love, and then men use love for sex.
I get you now. I feel like, bro, and this is just me. I don't speak for anyone else. I just don't think you should ever sell dreams for sex. I think you shouldn't do things to get sex. I mean, like, if you want to do something with someone, you should tell them, or you should like allude to that. But I think you should be more straight up. I don't think you should like go around.
It's easier said than done, though.
Easier said than
Nah,
done.
it is
Like,
easier said than done, but it's
some
like-
people equate certain actions
Right.
to like relationship shit,
Right.
whatever the fuck that means.
Right.
But it's just like, if I told you this is what I'm on, if I told you this is what I want to do, I'm telling you that's what I want to do. Don't make it anything other than what I'm telling you what I want it to be. And I think some people get caught up in like taking actions of certain people and be like, oh my God, this is what they meant, this is what they want.
Yo,
but if
that's
I'm
me to a T.
if
I've been
I'm
reading
telling you, if I'm doing all of this, like, okay, maybe we go out, maybe we do this. But if I'm telling you, like, yo, I only want to fuck, or I only want to do this with you,
Right.
you should take it as such, because that's what the person is telling you. And I try to say, yo, actions mean a lot. They say actions mean more than words, but I feel like words mean more than some actions. Because if I'm telling
you
you,
would tell a person, I'm just fucking you whole time. You out here, we going to the movies.
Right.
Like,
I'm still fucking you.
I stopped by the house to drop
I'm
off to your
still
house.
fucking you.
But I'm just fucking you.
Right.
I was like, all right.
Because maybe you
I'm
care about
guilty
it.
of that. I'll read into things so much.
All right.
I don't.
Don't you think that perception that you said is the reason why certain men feel like they have to do X, Y, and Z in order to get?
Nah, they just scum.
Because if you think
Nah, I
about,
don't know though.
But if you think about what he just said, that women use sex to make love, it's just like if a dude has that perception, like, yo, like, in order for her to want to have sex with me, like, she's looking for this sense of love. Like, that means I need to sit here and sell this dream.
I've been sold dreams
you feel me?
1,000 times.
But it's just
That's
like, because of that perception, that's just like, that may be a possibility why the man thinks this way.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't agree with it, because I mean, like, we've all went to the same college, and I've encountered, just like I've encountered women who are really like that. Like, they're just like that. Like, that's their body. You
Like,
feel
you don't
me?
gotta do all that.
Like, you don't need to
what
do,
you
like,
wanna
they're
do.
straight
You
up
know, I
like,
take you on no days.
I'm trying to do this, and then later on, that's what y'all do, and she goes about her day peacefully,
Right.
Let's
which
go
is
back to
okay.
episode 9. I'm gonna go back to episode 9 real quick, ladies. I want to hear. At the end of the day, with niggas selling all those dreams, what does that tell you about pussy?
Don't say it. Don't say
Say it.
it.
I wanna hear it. Say it.
You gonna say pussy is power?
Say it.
That's my brother. He know.
Because niggas
Is
is
it-
selling dreams.
So you're saying
Selling dreams.
So
buying
you're saying
shit.
pussy is power. That's what you're
I
saying.
agree. I wholeheartedly
Okay,
agree
okay,
with that
wait.
statement, 100%. Talk to me, Kristen. What's up?
You have to go to monologue.
Now I'm
Figure this out.
confused because my thing is, I wish it was the case, but as a woman who has a pussy, I don't agree because pussy comes a dime a dozen. You could get one today, you could get one tomorrow. I wish men would stop putting pussy on a pedestal and just put a woman on a pedestal. It's irritating as fuck, bro. You don't have to tell a woman what you want, because if you go on Instagram, you see 1,000 bad bitches in one take. You don't have to do the most to get, and just again, there's so many fish in the sea. I've been told the same thing the same way. You don't have to, you don't have to do all that. I get that you might think that this woman, like, you've heard so many things about this woman, or she looks this good, she must have this kind of pussy. There's another bitch that got the same shit. I promise you.
But Kristen, look,
Same shit.
man,
But
one good
either
girl's
way,
worth
no
1,000
matter what,
bitches.
women have to do a lot less to get some dick. But men, no matter how many
That
men it
niggas is
is,
horny.
men are gonna do the absolute.
But that's my point.
Listen, men are gonna
But
do
if they
the
have to
absolute
do the
most.
absolute most, then don't do the absolute most. Because
But
there's
you know
gotta
what
be
it is?
like
another
that's up to
woman.
us, though. I feel like that's up to us. In this situation, it seems like it's up to us because we've had this conversation so many times, just between the two of us. It's up to women to say, okay, thank you for letting me know. You just trying to fuck. I respect that of you. I
Yes.
respect you for being honest. But instead, in turn, everyone goes, what the he ain't shit. He just want to fuck me. Yeah, he does. Because at the end of the day, he just wants a nut. Like, he literally just wants a nut.
But then that feeds into the male ego. So, like I said this on episode 9, J. Cole said, I peeped that pussy is power. That proud feeling you get knowing that pussy is ours.
Right.
You feel me?
I
So
know
it's
the
just,
words.
it's an ego thing. It's like, I'm sitting here, we're having sex, I'm slapping it, you feel me? The emotion that you're giving me, it feeds into my ego, like, damn, like, this is really me, you feel me? And then it's just like, now it's like, all right, that sense
I
of
have
like
a
a nigga
question.
wanting to do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
So it's
what's
like,
the question?
that's what I think that
I have a
power
question.
comes from.
Listen, you guys have to be transparent,
Okay.
real, vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
First time you fucking a girl, have you ever said, whose pussy is this?
Wait, first time or
First time.
Wait, hold
general?
on.
Think about it. Think about it.
All right.
Get back to me.
Nah,
Shit.
Like first time.
First time.
nah.
Like
Like the
very
first time I had,
Like first
like
time.
I'm losing my
First
virginity?
time.
Yes.
Hell no.
Nah.
No, not
Not the very first time.
First time you
But-
fucked that woman.
Yes.
Yes, that woman. Okay, I'm
But
not
what do you
gonna
mean
lie.
by that woman?
I
Like, what do you
that
mean?
one woman. So say had sex with Yana or somebody
Yeah,
random name.
yeah.
It's my first time having sex with her.
Random.
Okay.
And I said,
That's not
I said,
right.
Yana, I said, Yana, is this pussy mine? Women be lying. Like a motherfucker.
Yeah, the fuck I do.
They not gonna say
I
no.
mean,
Yeah, I do.
What you
be
say? You
lying.
say yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's yours.
I do
you
be
know,
lying.
you know how when
It's
you really
yours.
in that thing for the first time, it's like, yeah, Teddy.
It's an
Hold
ego
on,
thing.
they
It's an
sound
ego
too
thing.
What
good.
is the daddy thing, bro? What is the
Listen,
daddy thing? Why
I
do you
don't
want my
know.
father?
It's not me. It's what I've experienced in my
I ain't trying to be
time.
daddy.
Facts.
It's
It's
what
an
I've
ego
experienced in my
thing.
time.
It's an ego thing.
So
I've been
I've
there. It's an ego
experienced
thing.
women have lied and women have said.
Of course.
Because
Because when the group chat get back to you later, it's like, yo, this nigga was
Right.
It's like, what? Like,
Wait,
You talking too
period.
much.
Right.
You talking too much.
So
You
wait,
asking too
why
many damn questions.
does it matter though?
Yeah.
Nah, it's not my pussy.
Why
I know
does
it's
it matter?
not.
Why does it matter?
It
However,
absolutely-
it's a pride thing for
Nigga,
men.
Why does it
Exactly.
No,
matter?
yeah, why doesn't matter?
Because it goes back to the line. It's like he said, it's the ego thing where it's
like-
like knowing that it's ours. Like it's the first time, like you don't even know what this thing could really do. Like the first time may not even be the best time, and you all of a sudden gonna say that.
True.
And
You
this is
ain't
like
open the
this is what I'm
doors.
saying is a recent experience of mine. That's why I'm like saying that's why I'm bringing it up. But like
Points are made.
just in general, why do you feel the need to claim a woman's body? Like, okay, yeah, we joke around and we say like, yeah, that dick is mine, like whatever, this and other thing. But
I
at the
ain't
same
hit
time,
it.
like, this
Did
body
Yeah,
is
Rod
I
talk
know
about
women.
that? Rod, didn't you talk about
This
that?
shit take me back to
it
hotels right
predates-
now by Jasmine Sullivan.
Back to like medieval time, like way before like the
Oh,
creation
I
of
think
man.
I talked about
did talk about
like
that.
back in the day, like medieval times, where like kings had just different women that they could just fuck, and like women couldn't do that.
You stoned.
Yeah.
Women, men
That's
could
property,
own women.
yeah.
Men
Right.
could. King Henry had like 8 wives. And if you wasn't giving him a son, you're not it. He's going to the next one. But like women couldn't do that. They were called like wench or all types of bad
I mean,
names.
that even goes into who we see on social media all the time, Dan Bilzerian, who
Oh, yeah, the
who
white
gets
dude.
to
Not
this,
my boy.
not my boy.
Not my boy.
White dude.
The lifestyle, right?
Because
Not
he,
my
no,
boy.
Wait, who's that?
So
I don't
Dan
know.
Bilzerian is this white man.
know
He's not even that cute. He kind of short
white
too.
dude, bro.
He got
He's
a
an average-
beard.
He got a beard,
He
but he's
white.
a trust fund baby. Yeah, he's a trust fund baby. Mad bread in his pocket. So what he does is he throws
like
party
a
all the time, and
playboy.
he just he just surrounds himself with beautiful women all the time.
Yeah.
That's
White.
what he does. And sometimes he says he has sex up to like 20, 30 times a day. Great, fine, dandy.
Okay.
If a woman, hold on,
Okay, I see what you're saying.
that's
Oh,
it.
God.
If a woman were to do that, it'd be a different story.
Right.
It'd be like, and she's promoting on
Space
Instagram.
movie.
She's hosting parties with mad niggas in her place, like telling people that she's having sex 20, 30 times a day. It's a whole different story now.
Oh,
And he trying to be a Hugh Hefner.
Basically.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is
Basically.
Never mind.
this is why I tell my boys, I tell people in general, we gotta get out the mindset of judging women for who
It
they
has to go both
fucking,
ways.
how much they fucking, or whatever they doing, because like niggas is doing the same shit.
Exactly.
I'm not
The
saying
only
me.
reason I ever want to know who a man's fucking or how many people he's
Sexual
fucked.
health.
Yeah, sexual health.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing. I done learned some real fucking lessons from these dirty ass niggas.
I get it.
Who
I
want to
understand.
swear. My thing is too, why is it I've rarely had interactions with men where I like they bring it up first, like sexual health. What is that about? What is
Right.
that? I don't know. I'm not saying
Nah,
that
really
y'all
talk
can
to us.
relate.
Nah, that's a
but
real-
like,
that's a great
I really be
question.
like,
That's
so
a
where the
great
condom
question.
at?
I just got tested on Friday. You know, I just
He
got
said
my
might as
checkup
well.
on Friday.
I might get it came
So
out.
But
I'm
even that, it's like y'all think that if you go
Y'all.
hop in the shower and wash your dick right
she
after having
generalizing, bro.
sex.
Relax,
Yes,
relax.
I'm generalizing. Babe.
generalizing.
Not about you.
She's not talking about us.
Yo,
If
Trust
you
me.
just hop in the shower, your dick is clean.
Hell
No,
no.
babe. That's
Yo.
not how it works. Shit
Hell
really do be
no.
happening.
Chris,
Yo,
Chris is
no,
too
no, no,
wrong
no,
for me.
no, no,
And
no.
my thing is, I know I'm good.
She's
I get
not
tested all the
lying
time.
because no funny shit in high school. It might have been one of my big bros was like, "Yo, bro, like you straight, you throw the condom on, but you good. Like as long as you make sure, you, like you know in the boxes you got the little whole shit.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, as long as you use the whole shit, you're good, bro.
Pinch-
Like
pinch the
you ain't gonna get nothing. You feel me?
Right.
But I'm like, nigga, like you can still
The
catch that shit. He's like,
miseducation of
nah,
black men.
nigga,
Wait,
like
this shit
these the
slip
only niggas on
off.
my block. They like, yo,
Hold
bro, that's what that shit's for.
No,
I'm like,
you know
damn,
what's
nigga, like,
We
weird
need
is that
Kristen to take us on the Magic School Bus right now. Come on, take us
I'm
there.
just confused because I feel like it's very subjective, right? When men meet me, if I like, they'll be like, "You smell so good" or whatever. Okay, cool, thanks. But then it's like they think that I smell good, I have good hygiene, I must not have anything.
Yeah.
That's not
That's
a
cap.
safe assumption.
Yo.
That's
Because
cat.
Nah,
I,
I agree.
no,
Yeah,
no,
nah, I
nigga,
can agree with that,
there's
'cause a lot
never
of
been
niggas like
one
that.
instance
Niggas
where a
is like
man
that,
has
but that's
asked
not
me
true.
to put a condom on, or like if we could use. Never, not
Y'all be
one
so
time.
ready to take it up. What? You're not worried about your?
It's
Alright,
not
hold
even.
on.
They don't
Hold
even
on.
ask.
Hold on. I'm gonna take this L in this conversation today.
Okay.
Okay.
No, what
I
else you about
take-
to take?
You're not taking L. You're just being vulnerable right now.
Nah,
It's
that's
the
not
truth.
wrong.
To me,
When it comes
I'm
to
very-
6-year-old,
I'm very when it comes to 24-year-old Hakeem books. I'm on a podcast. I'm not gonna lie. So I asked that question. If how's your sexual health? Why? Because I do not react well to condoms.
What you mean
Okay.
react?
No, like I put them shits on, my shit go limp. like JR don't cap. JR no. Yo, listen.
No, but I've seen that though. I feel you.
I always like literally like whenever I like even if I'm like just now meeting a person, it's like, all right, what's your sexual health like? Because at the end of the day, damn, it's gonna sound bad for the
What?
podcast. 9 times out of 10,
Associate.
I'm not gonna lie. This is why I don't have sex with a lot of women.
You raw
I'm
dog
gonna
in
start
it.
dropping that thing raw dog. Why? Why? Because I know how my body reacts
Jump
to
in
condoms.
it?
I'm gonna be honest.
I'm jumping out the window with this one.
I'm gonna give a 5-question questionnaire like an MHQ.
Window.
I'm gonna ask. Listen, when last time you had
That's
sex, who you
crazy.
had sex with?
But you can't trust people.
You
though.
can't. However, that's why I make sure like I don't
What you
just
saying?
fuck random women. Like I don't have one night stands. It's not my thing.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I know my partner before I start fucking them. 100%.
Okay.
Because and then I know that once that plastic thing go on, I'm like this.
I'm
That's crazy.
So my body doesn't react. That's why I don't have sex with many
Slapping
women at one time at all.
I
But at the end of
understand.
the day, I know like my shit does not respond well.
Okay.
To
And
condoms.
then-
like, now you in a group chat. This nigga
Yeah,
shit went
yeah.
lit. He got the gum. I don't want
Absolutely,
to deal
as
with
long
that.
as you know.
And then
Right.
the other
crazy.
side of it is like, nigga, I be scared to fuck raw. So like,
You know,
I'm
the
on-
opposite
I
side.
be scared. Like,
I just
like,
think that it should be promoted more, and it should be something that's like not so hard for people to bring up and stop assuming things and
Yeah.
stop assuming that because
Ask
somebody's
questions.
popular or that someone's well known or they have a good reputation that they're clean.
Nah, I don't-
Because that's not how it works. And when it comes to like sexual health, I don't mean to turn this into a sexual health forum, but when it comes to sexual health, like you could get tested in January and your shit be clean and not have sex for another 3 months and get tested in March and something will show up
Right,
because
yeah.
you have to give time between your sexual partners. And that's why I just find it very interesting that the men I've dealt with have never once asked me like, are
So
we
they
gonna
don't
use
be
the
showing-
condom? Never.
They don't show you
Kristen, I'm gonna be
Carfax.
honest.
Never.
Men are sluts.
No, I see that. Whores. They're whores.
Oh, shit. my fault.
Sorry.
Men will drop them draws quicker than women
It's
do. I'll be
crazy
completely
to
honest with
me.
you.
Like y'all
100%.
just
See, that's
and the
why
thing is-
it goes back to self-control. Like you have no self-control. Respect yourself.
So my
Honestly,
question
nah,
is-
you gotta be.
My question is, men and women in the room today, how do you all feel about women currently reclaiming their bodies? And I ask this question because
Reclaiming.
What do you mean?
reclaim, like really saying, no, this pussy is not yours, this pussy is mine. Like really reclaim their bodies and really exploring their sexuality. Women know. My favorite album right now is
Jasmine
Hotels by
Sullivan.
Jasmine Sullivan.
Yeah.
She really
Give
talked
me
about.
five.
She really talked.
Give me
She spoke
five.
heavily about
That's a
reclaiming
good
her
one.
body.
That's a
So
good one.
so I'll start with
I
the
ain't
ladies
listened to
first,
that.
of course.
That's fire.
You know, how is this revolution of reclaiming your bodies? Like what has it done for you altogether?
I feel like for me right now, I'm still not transitioned where I'm like, this is not shameful. The amount of bodies I have or what I do doesn't determine my self-worth. So I feel like I'm still unlearning a lot. So I'm not really the best one to talk about this because I'm still on my journey.
Okay.
Kristen, you want to take
I be claiming the fuck out mine.
You
And
said what?
I claim the fuck out
I ain't hearing
my
my
body.
phone.
I think that Like, I'll just be very honest. From the time I was younger, when I started having sex, I didn't know what sex was.
Okay.
Had no idea.
Right.
It was super humbling experience for like rumors to be floating around, or people think they know what I'm doing when who I'm doing it with, and I don't even understand what I'm doing with my own body. And when you have like an experience where everybody's judging what you're doing with your body and you don't even understand it, it makes you be like, wait, what am I doing? Why am I doing it? And why am I doing it with these people? Now, that being said, I don't slut shame. I feel like everybody has their own reasons for sleeping with different people, and everybody is at a different point in their life. So like, when I was in a long-term relationship for like 4 or 5 years, it was only him. It was just the two of us. Whole time he was dogging me the fuck out.
Damn.
Cheating on me the
Sorry
whole
to hear
time.
that.
No, it's okay. It
I thought you
happens.
meant like he was.
Yes, he was doing that too, and that's why I really didn't know what was going on. But
God.
anyway, when I got out of that, I realized that I wasn't emotionally available. Like, I thought I was, because I wanted love. Like, I wanted that, the kind of love I was getting from him, from someone else.
Okay.
But I wasn't ready to receive it. But after like a year, I was like, okay, like, what are you doing? You may still not be emotionally available, but that doesn't mean that you don't have other wants.
Right.
Not necessarily needs, but doesn't mean that you don't want other things. And so I started looking at sex as something that can be just a super intimate experience that I can gain pleasure from and give pleasure to someone else. And it doesn't have to be something that has to be like disgusting or super. I want sex to not be so sexualized, and I know that that's hard for people to understand, but sex doesn't have to be a taboo topic. It doesn't have to be. Sex is normal.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Sex is normal, and women for a long period of time, which I guess is based around this question, they weren't able to claim like their desire.
Right.
And I felt like once I learned my body, like when I broke up with my boyfriend and I started learning my body and like the ins and outs, what I actually like, what can I do for myself so that I can teach somebody to do it for me, I started realizing like, oh shit, like you don't have to love everybody you have sex with. You don't even have to. Now, what I did learn was I want to like the people I have sex with. Not like them on a romantic way, but just like them enough to like not want to not say hi in public.
Attraction?
That shit is nasty.
That shit weird.
Yeah,
Toxic.
like it's when you see somebody you've had sex with in person, you don't want to say hi to them. You're like,
Like,
oh,
we just had the
shit.
best
Can't
summer
give
of
no
our
head
yeah,
lives. Like, wow.
and I don't even want to say hi. And I feel like we're grown. So at this point, it's like, what do you want out of sex? Do you respect? And do you respect the partner that you're having sex with?
I agree.
Are you honest with them when like you get into bed and you're like, listen, like I don't really want to do anything crazy. I don't want to. I just want to have this experience today, and like let's just take it from there. I've had super great experiences with friends with benefits that don't turn into something that's like hostile or aggressive. Yeah, it's because we both like just understood that we weren't for each other emotionally. And I think that like in the last episode, in the last episode of you guys talked about misogyny and like how to dismantle it, and I felt like you do that by not automatically sexualizing every woman you meet.
Absolutely.
And not thinking about like, oh damn, do I find her attractive? Nah, she ugly. The minute a man doesn't find a woman attractive, they lose respect for the woman. That's gross.
Oh, I definitely touched on that.
Yeah.
That's gross. And I feel like if men want advice on how to dismantle it, one is just to listen. Like, if I'm talking to you, it doesn't have to be like I'm flirting with you. I'm just being a good fucking person. Just take it for what it is and move on. But the other part of it is that you don't have to find every woman you deal with attractive. That's fine. And you can take from a woman something that like you may not have gotten from a sexual partner, just their personality. And sometimes if you don't look at everything from like a sexual lens, you might be able to appreciate them for who they are and grow attracted to them. Everybody is not going to be like this super transparent, beautiful person the minute they meet you. Sometimes like what I looked like this morning at 9 a.m., y'all would have been like, that bitch crazy. Like, that bitch
we would
crazy.
still say you look good.
That
Stop
bitch
it.
crazy. You just never know who you're going to get. And I
guess
feel like
understood.
when women reclaim their bodies, especially like not just Jasmine Sullivan's album, but I always promote this Summer Walker, SZA's album, The Weeknd. I know men were dragging people for listening to The Weeknd. Yes. But it's
Men are
like,
dragging them for what?
because when women say like, you know,
SZA be wildin'. Go ahead.
SZA be
I don't
talking
know. I don't listen to
though.
none of this shit, so I don't know. I
Someone
can't really
wants
say
But
one of the
even
best.
like the songs that go back and forth about like understanding that a man doesn't have to be all yours. We're sharing him.
Yeah.
He might be fucking you. He might be
Weeknd.
fucking both of us at the same time. I'm not gonna be mad at you, and I'm okay with being The Weeknd because I'm gonna get what I can from him and move on. It doesn't have to be financial.
Understood.
And I feel like what their music does is empowering because it makes you understand that you're not the only one that's just trying to figure out how to be real in a really fake ass society.
I get it.
Like Girl Like Me with her. The whole song is talking about how we don't want to be a hoe.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be what I gotta be because I still need to be happy by myself. And if a man can't be my romantic partner, then I'm cool with that. I'm gonna still get what I can from the situation, not by being a gold digger, but by being myself and hoping, you know what, you can't give me 100%, so I'm gonna just take the 70 you're giving me. I'm gonna move on with my life. I'm gonna take what I can in that moment.
So, question for the fellas.
80-20 rule.
Huh?
This is something that really challenged our masculinity last episode. So, also want to challenge the women. First part of the question: how important is it for you? I'm gonna ask the fellas too as well. Whoever wants to jump at it, jump at it. How important is it for you, for your partner, to learn your body and what makes you kink? Secondly, what is something you're not willing to tolerate? Like, what's something you won't take?
Like, what do you mean?
What you mean tolerate?
Raw, you know what I mean.
I don't know. You gotta be more explicit, bro.
So all right, Junior. So how important is it for your partner to learn your body?
No, I want to know.
I'm asking for answer the question. How important is it for your partner to learn your body?
It's important. It's not really. It's like 50-50.
What's your limit for what that partner is going to do to you?
Like, what's the limit
to you?
What
You know
what limitations? Like, what?
So
Like, what are you trying to get at? Like,
he's saying,
wait.
what is your openness when it comes?
I mean,
to
I'm
sex?
open to sex.
What are
Like,
your boundaries? That's
What's your boundary?
Oh, he getting deep.
wait, what?
Wait, why did
what-
this challenge you guys' masculinity?
It
though?
doesn't really,
All right, so
honestly, because
personally,
I know where he going.
I know where he going.
I'm gonna talk for myself. I'm gonna be completely honest. All right, I love fellatio. However, I feel very uncomfortable when saliva drips down to my gooch. Simple as that.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Like, no cap. I used to be uncomfortable with it, but then I realized, shit, she's like, her mouth is a waterfall, so it's like it's gonna happen eventually. Nothing a little wipe down is not gonna help you out.
What's your limit?
I mean, what after that is what else?
He's stuck.
All right, cool. All right,
Nah, I know what you're talking about. So
Ladies.
you saying like, nah, I mean a girl trying to
I ain't gonna say it.
trying to eat my eyes.
So,
I don't know. I'm not there yet.
So, LeVar, what's your limit?
I'm not there yet.
You're
Respectfully.
Jamaican. You match the Jamaican man. What's your limit?
on some real shit, like I'm just not that kind of individual that likes anything around that anal area.
about
Like,
to area, all right.
nothing goes on around there. You feel
I'm
me?
kidding. I'm kidding.
But
I'm
it's
not
just like
kidding.
that ass.
it's just a personal thing. Though. Like
Okay.
there are like I'm like, there's some dudes that like that. That's just not my vibe. You feel me? But when it comes to women, I've been there before. Like I ate ass before. Like,
Why did this question challenge masculinity?
That's real shit. Like
Because the butthole is like something that.
That shit. Honestly, me personally,
Hold on, guys. I'm a Southern American man. I don't play with nothing that get too low.
yeah,
All
like
right.
it's just
So, ladies, question: how important is it for you, for your partner, to truly learn your body, and what's your kink as well as your limit?
Can I just say, I feel like it's really unfair that men have this idea that anything after your dick is like off limits. The only reason I say that is because I've taken classes on sexuality.
We know where
and
G-spot is
pleasure.
at, money.
Why don't you want to feel
Like,
it
why
then?
don't you wanna feel
My
that
thing is, yes, just listen. Just hear me out.
I keep forgetting the camera on.
Hear me out. Just hear me out. You know how much you know how much fun it is when like you discover something new and it feels like your world has just blown up into a million pieces.
Okay.
The woman's orgasm is already super intense. So like
definitely.
when I got to learn about like the male pleasure center and how it's like in your ass, I was just like, I don't feel like it should be something that is. So I'm not saying that y'all need to be begging for it. Ain't nobody asked me to turn around and be like, yo, like nobody's asking me to do that.
We shouldn't be like throw that ass
But
in the
can I just offer a question then? We don't have to answer it, but for yourself, just think about, should you be in bed with people that you don't want to explore new things with? Because the one relationship I was in that was super intimate, the only reason he even thought about opening his mind to that was because he was with somebody that he loved.
Okay.
Now, maybe...
This is you.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty lovely, you know. But
Okay.
I am. But what I'm like, if you're going to, we're all grown now. So like everything's on the table if you want it to be. You can ask for things and things may be offered to you. Doesn't mean you have to do it. If you're not comfortable, you don't have to.
It's all about comfortability.
Yes. But imagine if a woman who's never given fellatio was like, yeah, I'm never giving head. I'm not about that. Not with that.
Niggas is out.
It's a deal breaker.
I'm just saying.
Wait.
Any sexual act that's offered, I don't feel like it's fair to just say automatically, I'm not doing
I
it.
think it's very similar to the man.
I gotta circle back.
Blame your upbringing, nigga. Like, that's what it is.
I gotta circle back. But at the end of the day, ladies, how important is it for someone to learn you?
I think it's really important for me because it just like shows a level of respect.
Agreed.
And also like you want this to be pleasurable for both of us. I think growing up, like women in general, we don't get to experience like the pleasurable side of sex. It's a lot of like pleasuring. It's always just giving head. And like for a long time, like Kristen said, I didn't know that women were even supposed to get head. Like I thought it was just same thing all the time. Like just all the time. So I didn't really like get to explore that. I had to explore my body first and have partners who were willing to explore it with me. So I feel like it's a different level of love, respect, and just comfortability where a guy is like, no, what do you want? Like you say, like you have to sit there and ask your girlfriend, like, what does she want? It goes in every single aspect of a relationship. Like when you're sitting down in bed with someone, that's why I'm just so confused as to why this would challenge your masculinity in general, because it's just like this is a conversation that you would have with the person you're fucking.
Because there are certain sexual acts. I feel like
it's a level of comfortability.
It's just certain shit. And it's not me. I'm saying there's just certain shit that has stigma. Like they saying they're not doing that shit.
But
it
that's
gotta be stigma towards like homosexuality.
It is.
Absolutely.
And it's like dismantle it. Dismantle it.
I'm not gonna lie, it definitely is that. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, I said it. The reason is really just the upbringing, bro.
It's upbringing. Like we Jamaican, so we
bro.
They already told us, and what you said, they said like you're not supposed to eat pussy. I listened to Vibes Cartel growing up. He said no, you cannot suck pussy on the Gaza. Like he literally say no pussy can't suck on the Gaza. So why? So for me, it's just like a long time. I was like, okay, like you do it, and then it's just like I literally remember one time I was doing business, business as usual, right?
All right, business is business.
Nah, I don't call it business. I'm making a joke out of it, but I literally had my head grown down like this, grabbed down, and I was like, "The fuck?" You doing? And then I was like, "All right, push down again," and I'm like, "Right." And then the third time, I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" I'm like, I literally said, "Yo, what the fuck?
What you on?"
And she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I just haven't had it done to me in a long time," and I was just like, oh, okay. And I just went back to, but I was like, what, 16, 17, around that. But
was that like emasculating for you? Is that why?
Huh?
Was that like emasculating for you? Having someone push down your head?
It wasn't that. It was just like, it was just, I'm like, no, I'm not doing that.
You don't push the girl's head down?
No, I'm saying.
Thank you.
She's pushing my head.
Look at the question.
Have you ever pushed a girl's head down? You think I want to?
No,
you think I want this? You think I want to put my thumb behind?
No, but
come on.
It's not even about that. But it was just like when she was doing that, my mindset wasn't about her pushing my head down. It was me saying I'm not doing this because this is not anything I was told I should be doing, and I'm like, this is wrong. I'm like, okay.
But if she's enjoying it, her response to it, if she's enjoying it, why would be like?
But at the time, I was younger than 18, and I was brought up in a Jamaican household when that was I'm gonna call it a sin. I'm gonna call it spade a spade. That's what you're never supposed to do that. So for me,
teach their kids that?
Yeah.
I don't say that, but that's what's one of the things they say. What?
Are you serious?
What?
So at that point, so at one point in your life, performing oral sex was your limit. Right?
What point did I get to that?
No, at one point in your life, at that point in your life, performing oral sex on a woman was your limit.
He wants to know how limit.
That was your limit. No, not even
saying that. That was my limit.
So looking at the vast majority of the crowd here today, we got women here today. I'm excited. How are you all dismantling? What's the word I'm looking for? How are you guys dismantling double standards? There we go. I'm tired now. How are you all dismantling double standards in and out of the bedroom?
You made a great point. I like that. Like, because I definitely felt demasculinated. Like my freshman year, I was dealing with some shorty and I was giving her head, same shit. Like she pushed my hand down there. She put my head down there. Like
it's missionary.
I had no problem. You see, like I had no problem giving her head, but the problem for me was, you feel me? Because I had the fro. You feel me?
Yumsta. Freshman year, we used to call it Yumsta.
But I had the fro, and she started pulling my hair. Now for me, that was just like, I was like, no, this is a dub, and I ended sex right there because I'm like, why the fuck you pulling my hair?
Wait, I know this is. What's your sign? I just need to.
I'm a Libra.
Wait, hold on.
Oh my god!
But that again, that was my freshman year, so it's different now.
Baby.
But it was just like, back then it's just like, yo, why you doing that? Like that's something I should be. Again, it was masculine things like, yo, that's something I should be doing to you. Like,
was it emasculating or was it just like uncomfortable for you? Because women get our heads pushed down all the time, and it's not like taking away our femininity or our power. It's more so just like low-key rude. Like, why do you feel like you need to be pushing my head? I feel like for me, it's a lack of communication in every sense of the word. Like, people just don't know how to communicate. And it's really irritating when nobody can just ask, like, oh, are you okay with this? Are you down for this? Like, or just move slow. All of a sudden, you just feel something on top of your head and you like, hold up.
Right.
That's rude. Like, where's the question?
I mean, going back to your question, though, like, actually dismantling in and out of the bedroom, I feel like the bedroom is all subjective, so you can't really, like, talk about it. I feel like for me, it's going to be different than for Kristen and for you guys. So I think it's different. But outside the bedroom, I even responded to like one of your posts on the actual Instagram, and it was like, what can women do to like, you know, make men feel more comfortable, like dismantle like massage. I don't know what it was, but I was basically just like, I need to stop telling people, like, stop letting men think that I'm their therapist. And I think that's a huge double standard where it's just like, if a man is emotional with me, it's not that I don't turn him away, because I'm way too empathetic sometimes. I'll take on their problem and I'll listen to you and I will be your therapist, but it's like, you won't be mine. So why I kind of turn back and tell myself like, why would I do that for you? So I'm kind of I have to like, it's not really a double standard, but it's just like an understanding between two people. Like, if you're gonna vent to me, I should be able to vent to you, and we should be able to do the same thing. But then a lot of it is, and I know Kristen wants to touch on this too, but it's like subconscious thinking. We have a lot of double standards that we don't even think about. Like, if a girl's hanging out around with a lot of guys, we're like, damn, what's she doing? She busting it open on the weekends. But then if a guy is hanging out with a lot of girls, it's like, oh, like he's just cool. Like he must be cool. Like,
where?
Nah, she not lying though, because me, I got a lot of women friends, and a lot of dudes be thinking I'm either fucking with them. I'll be like, yo, no, dead my sisters. Like, I'm platonically just cool with all of them. Right. So it's like, we should break that, because I know some dudes probably, I mean, I won't lie, back in undergrad, I was probably like, yo, she got too many nigga friends. Right. Like, yo, which one of these niggas is fucking? Like, straight up. Like,
exactly.
And it was just like, yo, but that was just me being ignorant in a sense, like, just not really trying to really just learn. Maybe she just really grew up, because like me, it's different for me, because I grew up in a household full of women. So it's like, that's why I'm able to connect with them more in the sense.
Absolutely. So I feel like that is also one. Crap, I just had something to say and I forgot. Fuck me.
It's all right.
Yo. Oh.
There you go.
Hold on. And then it also goes into like egos, I would say, sort of, when it comes to double standards, because I forgot it.
Oh shit!
So not you almost saying it.
I said in the car.
So let me. This might actually, you know, draw her creativity. Something that myself and Rob really both feel very passionate about. So I want to ask the entire group here today: how do you feel about gender roles? You guys, I'll start with Raheem.
I don't care about gender roles. I mean, like,
do you not care about gender roles when you just said that you wouldn't want somebody like going down in your butt?
I never said that.
Okay.
I think so. That
wasn't me. That was
Kerry.
That was
all of you.
I never answered. I never answered. I just said it was a stigma to homosexuality. But I think with gender roles, I just feel like we just got to do whatever works for us. Like, I'm not gonna expect a woman to cook, clean, or whatever shit is put towards them, or like, I'm not gonna expect a woman to think that I'm gonna be fixing everything, or I'm gonna be the breadwinner. Like, if my woman made more money than me, like, shit, all right, that's you. Like, fuck it.
Now y'all ready to be husbands. What is it?
Stay
at home dad shit. Sign me up.
But like, I feel like healthy competition. I feel like gender roles. I'm not gonna say gender roles are outdated. Like, there's certain shit like I'm not gonna expect might like go take out the car. Like, there's just some shit I'm just gonna be like, all right, let me just do this. But there's no set. Like, I don't live in set expectations of a woman or just shit in general. I'm just gonna do whatever works for my situation. I don't care about whatever's going on. That's just me.
I feel like
I definitely agree with that.
We've started to like see this change since like we have a lot of understanding now about trans and like queer. But for me, like, I don't have any issue with gender role, but I'm not gonna say that personally we don't all have a preference of certain things. Right. And for me, like, I'm just super attracted to a masculine man. Like, and saying that is even difficult, because then you're like, okay, so how do you define masculinity? It's not really fair to define because like I have my own ideas for masculinity. So like, for example, I like somebody that makes me feel super protected, seems really strong. Like, there's just certain things equate with masculinity. But it's not really fair anymore for anybody to do that and generalize, because at the end of the day, like when we look at people, it's not really fair for you to be like, oh, women wear dresses and men only wear pants, or whatever the case may be. That's even putting a gender role on it. And I don't agree with labeling people and holding them to a label that we've come up with in our heads or like from society. Like, I want there to be an understanding that it's all on a spectrum, and that a woman can wear a dress and then she can wear sweats, or like a woman can do things that a man would typically do and it still be okay.
I think the problem with gender roles sometimes is that, and you even touched on this in one of the episodes, I forgot what it was, but you were like, I'll be damned if I ever let a woman...
People pick and choose,
yeah,
right?
And it's like, he said, I'll be damned if I ever let a woman tell me how to be a man. And it's so true.
Yeah.
I would never tell a woman that.
Stop telling us what to do. Stop telling me that I should be in the kitchen. And it may seem outdated, but it's still, they really think about it. Like, they think that, I feel like, I'm saying they, but guys in general, like, sometimes you want that, like, let me cater to you type of girl. Like, you want it to be like, yeah, I'm digging her down so well that she's gonna do everything I want for me. Like, she's gonna cook for me, she's gonna clean for me, she's gonna shop for me, all that stuff. You want that, so it's like, you guys are telling us what we should do, and in turn, we're telling you guys what you should do. In turn, we're telling you, be the breadwinner then, okay? Then take care of, handle the business, handle what we got to do then. Stop doing that. If a woman wants to do what she wants to do, that's how it's going to be. And if a man wants to do what he wants to do, that's how it's going to be. And at the end of the day, if you guys live in harmony, it's going to work.
Amen.
Amongst it, yeah, I agree.
It's irritating though when like men say, I'm a grown ass man, I'm a grown man, or
Grown don't
state
mean
that they're
nothing.
a man all the time. Okay, and what does you being a man do for
Right.
me? Why do I
don't
care?
women say the same thing? I'm a grown ass woman.
I think that men say it though. Most instances that I've come across of men saying it though is like men saying it as like a bragging right or something that they don't have to do because they're a grown ass man, or I do this because I'm a grown ass man. And you know, even for women that say I'm a grown ass woman, the only time I say I'm a grown ass woman is when I'm questioned about my womanhood. Otherwise, I'm not outside just saying like, you know, I'm a grown ass woman. I pay my own bills. I do this. I do that.
I mean, I'll be
What's
saying that,
understood-
but just as a joke.
What's understood don't need to be said. I don't get why everyone has to constantly state.
Big purr.
Yes,
Big purr.
I'll be
call me
completely
Big Purr.
honest with y'all. LeVar made a valuable point in her story, episode 8. I can't remember. Sorry, y'all. LeVar said it's funny how one man woke up one day and said, "I can lift this 50-pound boulder and you can't, so I'm more dominant than you."
Period.
And that's how that's literally how gender roles began.
Yep.
Right.
Nasty word.
And I mean, we talked about a lot of things today, a lot of shit, and I feel like the perspective of the ladies really helped us open up a lot of our minds of shit I never thought about, like
Your pleasure centers. Let's open up the mind to a pleasure center.
no.
Be vulnerable with a woman. If she like really, if she digs you.
I call her Big Purr. Respectfully.
Okay.
Nah, facts.
I'm just saying
like
open
Rock
to
said,
things.
yeah, he said, yeah, I'll open up a lot of different, open up the third eye. You know what I mean? Open up the third eye.
So, ladies, I mean, you said it again. Said it in the beginning, so say it in the end of how people can reach out to you and follow you and all that thing. Give them your handles.
So on Twitter and Instagram, you can find us at Taboo Podcast. And then on Twitter and Instagram, you can find me at Leanna Dom with 2 M's.
And you can find me at Chris Nicole B, 2 S's with the Chris.
Write that down. Write that down.
Right.
Write that down. Definitely check in with these beautiful ladies. Know what I mean? Just pose any questions for this beautiful woman. Damn, bro, my fault.
At least you didn't say females.
We didn't say
I
that.
said ladies, bro. Like I ain't
That's
say
okay.
females. Like,
Ladies is fine.
come on, bro.
I mean, as always, we
But
appreciate
nah, I
y'all
mean,
for
like
listening.
definitely pose questions to both
Fine.
Real You, Taboo Podcast.
Thank you
Let's
guys for
continue.
having us.
Seriously, I hope you guys can come on our show one day.
And keep
I
it
know,
a buck.
facts. We can
Keep
definitely.
it a buck. If y'all want to see more Taboo X Real You podcast, let us know. Absolutely.
Definitely, let us know.
Thank you,
We
ladies,
have-
for coming
we
in
have-
today. I
Thank you
know
for having us.
it was pretty tough getting here today for all of us, and you know it's hot. It's nice outside. You want to be outside right now.
Right.
Drink.
Oh wait, and happy birthday to Leanna's dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Yeah, he was very upset.
King
I had to leave.
Aries.
That's all right.
I see.
And we leave y'all with that. Deuces.
Bye.
Bow.
All right.